Hey, welcome back to Pirate Radio broadcast. I am Armin. From a spiritual point of view, yes, I believe in the existence of my guardian angels. So I've been teaching them about the situation in Seattle with Chaz, where young people and Black Lives Matter and Antifa and progressives are demanding that Chaz be their safe zone, their little city. So they are seizing the property of business owners and property once belonging to Seattle, and the government is saying, yes, you can. But there are grievances by Chaz that the city is trying to reclaim some of that land and property. So Washington State, where Seattle is within the jurisdiction, and Chaz does not have a personal or corporate income tax, but the people and businesses in Seattle and Washington and Chaz that engage in business, with the exception of Chaz, in Washington are subject to business and occupation B&O and or public utility taxes. So within Chaz, who's paying the taxes? Who's liable? Seattle? Is Seattle still liable for the taxes? Are the residents that used to be Seattle but now have been claimed by Chaz residents, are Chaz residents paying the taxes, the business and occupation, B&O, and the public utility tax? Are they paying the water bill, the electricity? What about the loans? Do these businesses still have bank loans? Are they paying? Who's liable? Can the owner now go to the bank officer and say, loan officer, my business has just been stolen by Chaz, and the bank officer, let me go talk to my manager. We'll get back to you. And so who's liable? Is the business owner still liable for the loan repayment and the interest? Or is it now because of the city of the government? Is the government liable? And is Shaz a zip code? Does the post office acknowledge Shaz? The IRS, the US Marshals, if they're in pursuit of a felon, the FBI, and the felon escapes into Shaz and seeks asylum. Does Shaz have the power? Are they a city? Do they have a government? Do they have a charter? Are they constitutionally protected as a city? And if they are a city with their own government and their own laws and sovereignty, then does Seattle still pay and get paid? Can Seattle still collect property tax or business and occupation, public utility tax? Can they still collect, or have they lost it? Yeah, the latter. They have completely lost it, and so have all the residents. But what about police protection? Since there's no police, who's liable? Young people from across the United States decide they want to go live in Chaz. It's a utopia because in high school and college they had their free zone, and now they want their safe zone. So they go to Chaz and they find out there's homeless and they're urinating. There's no sanitation. There's pandemic and diseases and crime, but there's no police. So who's liable? The Seattle government for allowing this to happen? It all depends on the lawyers. This is, oh my gosh, the lawyers will have a field day with this. Maybe I should get my law degree and my license to practice law, because I'll go down to Seattle and represent clients. The government of Seattle is liable. They are liable for this. They are. Now, in Chaz, the overview of Washington, federal income tax is 14.18%, $446 in federal income. State income is 5.09%, $160. Local income is 3.50%, $110. FICA and state insurance tax is 7.80%, $246. Um, this is just Washington, where Seattle is focused. So there's a lot of taxes that are not going to be collected. Seattle is probably going to wish they never did this. Local sale taxes in Seattle, Tacoma, other metros are higher than the national average, but Seattle's government can no longer collect this in Chaz. Oh, I find this so amusing, and so do my garden angels. It tastes amusing. Um, of course, in Seattle, you don't have to pay state or local income tax, but there's no escaping federal income tax. But what about if you're in Chaz? Do you pay federal income tax? Is Chaz incorporated? Does it have a government? Does it have a water district? Does it have bylaws? Is it is it it? And the answer is no. They're just a bunch of young people and black people who are. That's all they are. People. I think Seattle's government is going to be levied a lot of penalties for this. I don't blame them. I'm having fun. I'm having too much fun. This is I haven't had this so much fun since I was a kid, you know, doing pirate radio broadcasts and learning about all the little things that are going on in the world. And this was what pirate radio broadcast started out. I talked about what was going on, and I'm like full circle. So this is Armin with Pirate Radio Broadcast, a presentation of Alien Children's Anthology, the original YouTube uploads that I used to upload. I'm back to that. Excuse me. Seattle is giving me air coming out of my hole. Just thinking about Seattle, I got gas. Wow, I mean, felons. This is your shelter. This is your sanctuary. Chaz. It won't last. Seattle is losing money. Poor Chaz residents. Poor, deluded. Like Batman of the TV show. You poor, deluded creature. Golly gee, Batman. They're crazy. Yes, they are, Robin. What are they gonna do, Batman? I think they're gonna have to abandon Chaz. Golly gee, Batman. Really? Yes. Where are they gonna move? Seattle. Oh, don't they live in Seattle? No. They live in Chaz, but they're gonna be evicted. To where? Seattle. Seattle? Isn't that where they're from? They won't have much room to walk to. They'll be evicted from Chaz, and basically, they won't have to leave Seattle. They'll just have to vacate Chaz. Golly gee, Batman! How does that work? Just stand there. But what if they're dragged out from Chaz? They'll have to be taken to Seattle. But isn't Chaz Seattle? Technically, yes. But technically, no. They'll have to evict Chaz out of Seattle, the occupied Seattle, back to Seattle. Batman, I'm confused. I know. I'm feeling confused too. This has been Pirate Radio Broadcast. When I think of something else to broadcast, I'll be back.